What's up everybody? I have an interesting vlog for you today. I will enumerate some factual trivia about psychology you may not know. So, without further ado, welcome to the Psych Club! Here we go! Number 1. The Dunning-Kruger effect. In 1999, two social psychologists discovered something about intelligent people. They rarely think they're smart. In fact, they often rank themselves below average. On the other hand, people with low intelligence do the exact opposite. They almost always overestimate their rank by a long shot. For example, you're trying to learn how to draw. Then you finish your first drawing. You probably think you're good at it. But once you practice and realize how much you don't know, you won't think you're very good anymore. This is why people with low intelligence often rate themselves so highly. They don't understand how little they know. Number 2. Music changes perception. The type of music you listen to actually affects how you view the world around you. We all know that music can change your mood. An upbeat song can leave you on top of the world, but a sad song can send you into a downward spiral. But that's not all. A 2011 study looked at whether or not music could affect the way you perceive your environment. Subjects were asked to identify happy and sad faces while different songs played. Turns out, people struggle to recognize happy faces during a sad song, and vice versa. The music is making them see things that weren't there. It created something called a perception expectation. When you hear one thing to your ear, your brain expects to see something similar to your eyes. This is why music can improve a workout or help after a breakup. It sets the tone by creating that perceptual expectation. Number 3. Foreign language logic. We all make bad decisions. But what if I tell you that you could think more rationally if you do it in another language? A study found out that people make more logical choices when using a second language. Our reasoning skills are divided into two parts. One is systematic and logical, and the other is unconscious and emotional. When you use your first language, you let that emotional side take over. Your biases and knee-jerk reactions cloud your judgment. But if you use a less natural language, that rational side steps in. You're forced to put more thought on what you say. Number 4. Singing reduces anxiety. Singing in the car or shower is a great way to fend off anxiety and depression. Let's say you're driving off to work, and you are about to give your most important presentation of your life. Naturally, you're a nervous wreck. So, how can you keep yourself calm? Turn on your favorite song and sing as loud as you can. It sounds ridiculous, but singing floods your brain with endorphins and oxytocin. Both relieve stress to improve your mood. They make you feel comfortable while keeping your heartache and cortisol levels low. And don't worry, you don't have to be good. Even if you're the worst singer in the world, belting it can reduce anxiety and turn your day around. Number 5. Evolving anxiety. Studies show that normal children today was more anxious than child psychiatric patients in the 1950s. Over the last few decades, mental health conditions like anxiety and mood disorders have become increasingly common. In fact, they're treated as a normal thing. If that study were conducted today, I'm sure the numbers would be through the roof. As humanity becomes more disconnected, stressed, and scared, it's more important than ever to pay attention to your mental health. Number 6. Canonical Perspective. Have you ever thought about how things look in your memory? In the 1980s, psychologists discovered that we remember almost all objects from the canonical perspective. That means we see things from the side and slightly above. If you don't believe me, you can try it. Try to draw a cup. Did you draw a big circle as if you're looking downwards? Or did you draw it from the side and add a little angle so you could just barely see inside? Well, there are a few individual exceptions, but you unconsciously see most objects in the same vantage point. Number 7. Healthy sarcasm. Being sarcastic can actually improve the health of your brain. While sarcasm can be insulting, it's one of the most common signs of intelligence. Sarcastic people tend to be quick, witty, and creative. Their sarcasm may make them unlikable, but they excel at thinking outside the box. Biologically, sarcastic comments require basic brain function. You have to instantly understand the tone, meaning, and perspective, then spin them in a way that makes something funny. This is why sarcastic people are good at understanding abstract concepts and solving complex problems. Number 8. Dopamine addiction. Why is it so easy to stare at your phone for hours on end? A recent study found that texting and social media triggers the release of dopamine in your brain. Dopamine is commonly associated with pleasure, but that isn't why you can put your phone down. Dopamine plays another important role. It controls desire. It tells you when you want something and compels you to get it. This is what pushes you to keep talking, clicking, or scrolling. Each time you do, dopamine sends more pleasure signals to the brain. It's a dangerous cycle because the longer you let it go on, the harder it is to break. Number 9. The Oversleepers Paradox. After sleeping for 10 to 11 hours, how do you feel? You give your brain plenty of time to relax and detoxify, yet somehow you feel tired, almost like you didn't sleep enough. Sleeping too much is just as detrimental as not sleeping enough. It will leave you feel foggy and fatigued because it throws off your biological clock. Imagine you're trying to do a flip. If you don't flip enough, you fall. But if you flip too much, the same thing happens. You have to eat it just right. Sleeping works the same way. The only way to avoid feeling tired is to sleep the perfect amount. For the last trivia, I will let you read it for yourself. Did you read it? Crazy, right? This research from Cambridge University states that the human mind does not read the letter by itself, but the word as a whole. It's called hypoglycemia. It works because our brain don't just rely on what we see. It also relies on what we expect to see. You have probably encountered something like this on the internet because it started as a meme in the early 2000s. Thank you for watching the Psych Club. If you're interested, sources of these trivias are in the description box. And if you know some senior high school student that is still undecided to what course they will take at college, please share this blog to them. Who knows, it may pique their interest and choose psychology in their tertiary level. Thank you again for watching. Bye guys!